As we continue talking about this issue, one of the reasons why people don't save is because we are living beyond our means. I have a personal story myself wherein I found myself in a situation where I'm spending way more money than what I'm making. So the reason why I was doing this is because I got myself into something which, looking at this in hindsight, it was just a matter of being greedy, wanting to make more money without putting in the work. So I got myself involved in forex. I didn't know anything about it. I didn't do enough research. I got myself hooked up into it, into a situation where I ended up doing things that were not helping me. I ended up digging a hole for myself, investing money. I would get a salary. I invest half of that salary in 1 month. I put it into forex, and when I put it into forex, that means that half of the salary that is left has to cover for all my expenses for the whole month. I need to take care of my son, I need to take care of myself, I need to travel to work. So I got greedy. I ended up losing money in that month, so I had to call my younger brother. I remember my younger brother was in varsity at the time. I had to call him, trying to borrow, like, can you borrow me 500 rand? I called my big brother, can you borrow me 500 rand? So I was borrowing from multiple people, just trying to cover the deficit that I put myself in, the hole that I dug myself into. I was trying now to pull myself out with other people, trying to borrow from friends, trying to borrow from family to cover myself. The bad decisions that we make in our finances will lead us to having a situation where we are living beyond our means. The expenses that we have will end up rising higher and higher. So that is the part of lifestyle that I'm talking about. We end up having lifestyle that are costing us money, lifestyle that are adding on top of the finances that are already not in a good situation. We are already in bad circumstances, but we put more stress on it. We put more expenses on this budget that is very little already. We don't have enough money, but our lifestyle causes us to go out every month. We are spending money on takeout, eating out at restaurants, takeaway. So the things that we end up doing is costing us. We are putting ourselves in situations where our lifestyle, we love clothes, our culture as South Africans, people in Africa, people in America, we love to look nice, we love to drip and be fresh, we love to look flashy, and the drip is what's in right now. So the fact that we want to look good, we end up spending money that we don't have. We end up spending money on clothes. In a single month or in a single 30-day period, we end up spending way more money than what we supposed. Instead of saving toward buying clothes, we just decide, no, I need new clothes. We go and spend without budgeting for it. So that is where the living beyond your means come in. So that is issue number 4. One of the reasons why we find ourselves in these situations is because we are spending way more than what we have. We are spending more than what we are earning. We are spending more money, so we are living beyond our means. So if you find yourself in a situation like mine, maybe you have a gambling problem, or maybe you have an addiction that you are financing. Maybe there are things that you're doing and which make you spend money. Maybe you are addicted to drugs. You are addicted to alcohol. You have to spend money on it. I was addicted to alcohol at some point, and this addiction came because of depression. There was a period where I was going through depression. I was depressed. I spent a lot of time indoors. I didn't go out. I didn't consume my alcohol out. I was consuming it alone. I would buy a bottle every weekend. So this addiction, that's what I'm talking about. Maybe you have an addiction into some sort of substance that is causing you to spend money, or you are addicted to gambling, which is another issue causing you to spend money. So you end up borrowing from other people. So what can you do if you find yourself in a situation like that, where you earn so much but you spend way more than what you're earning? What can you do? So one of the things that you can do to get yourself out of a situation like this is downsizing. Downsizing is simple. It's also difficult at the same time. So it's simple in a way that you just need to identify where is the potential of downsizing. But then the hard part is actually downsizing, actually putting it into practice and cutting your expenses. That is where it is difficult to downsize. You need to scale down. If you are living in an apartment where you are spending 6,500, you can go and spend in an apartment where you have to spend like 3,000 or half of that, or maybe from 6,500 you can spend 6,000. From 6,005 you can spend 4,005. So you cut your expenses by 2,000, and this means that whatever you have saved from the expenses of an apartment or rental, you now have that money available to save. So if you live in a 2-bedroom apartment and you are a bachelor, I was a bachelor at some point. I've been in situations where previously I was able to afford a 2-bedroom even though I was staying alone, but I ended up downsizing to a place where I'm renting at somebody's house, I'm renting at somebody's apartment, I'm sharing with somebody. Downsizing means that you're making money available. So there is no other way that you're going to have money available instead of having extra income, another stream of revenue, or downsizing. Instead of You can do one of the two. So instead of downsizing, you can make sure you have extra income. Instead of having extra income, because sometimes it's not possible to immediately have extra income. So what you can do, you can downsize. You can cut down on your expenses, go and live at a cheaper place, go and take back your car or buy a new car which is cheaper. There are some cars that don't cost as much money, they cost less in terms of maintenance, in terms of fuel, just the upkeep of the car. Some cars, they are costing more. If, for example, you drive a Mercedes versus somebody who drives a Polo, you're not going to spend the same amount of money servicing that car, fuel for that car, and just the lifestyle that comes with that car is not going to be the same. So you can downsize as you may see fit. If you see that there is an opportunity to spend less money in this area, you can do that. If it's your car, you can do that. If it's your insurance, you can look for a newer quote and get a cheaper quote that is going to help you spend less money. If you are spending 1,500 on insurance or 3,500, you can even go down and spend 2,000 or spend half of what you're spending just by taking the initiative to actively downsize. So that is some of the reasons or some of the solutions that you can put into practice just to help yourself, so you can save money, so you can limit this situation of living beyond your means. Now you can live within your means. If you find at least 3 areas within your budget or within your life where you can save money and cut down, you can put back in your pocket, in your bank account, you can put down about 5,000 rand, or even 30% of your expenses you can cut down. From spending 8,000 rand on your monthly expenses, you can go down to 6,000. You can go down to 5,000. So you save 3,000 just by downsizing and reducing some things. So it's very possible. It's difficult, but it's possible. It's difficult, but it can be done. So in other words, I wanted to highlight to you that you can make a few changes. You can cut down on entertainment budget. You can cut down on takeaways. You can cut down on useless expenses. There are some useless expenses that do not add value to your life. You spend money on things without getting value back. You spend money without getting any significant value back. You're just throwing money down your hobby, down your addiction, things that are costing you money and costing you and causing you to go into debt, causing you to borrow money. Now you are in this cycle where you have multiple reasons why you don't save. You have debt problem, and you have living beyond your means problem, you have poor budgeting problem. So you end up being in this cycle, a vicious cycle of looping around, or a huge loop of being in the same place over and over, year after year, month after month. You can't get out, you can't help yourself, you keep on going into an even bigger hole by borrowing, by not planning, by living beyond your means. So in a nutshell, that is point number 4 that I wanted to discuss, to say there are reasons why we don't save, and what can we do to be able to help ourselves to save money. What can we do to change our situations, to have a better understanding of finances, better understanding of money. And sometimes we have to listen to others. Maybe your girlfriend or maybe your wife is good at finances, you can ask them. They can be the one who help you and assist you to do better at finances. Maybe there is somebody, a colleague who is very good with finances. You can inquire with them, ask them how do they do it. I see that you never struggle with money, you always have money for petrol. How do you do it? Ask your friends questions like that. Ask your families questions like that. So it's very possible. It's hard, it's not easy, but it's possible. So in a nutshell, that's what I wanted to discuss as point number 4, how to improve our situations to where we can end up saving money.